We begin today's series with archive footage showing a Russian BMP next to a destroyed tank. The occupiers attempted to evacuate it. However, they soon came under an FPV drone operation that caused severe damage to the BMP. The vehicle was left heavily damaged and unable to continue moving. The whereabouts of the crew at that moment remain unclear. If anyone remained in the area, they would have to wait for another evacuation attempt, if one occurs. Next, a Russian soldier hiding in the forest was approached by two UAVs at nearly the same time. The pilots were unable to separate the engagement, so both drones moved in on the position simultaneously. On March 10, 2026, a group of Russian soldiers was observed by a Ukrainian FPV drone in open terrain near the Donetsk region. One of the soldiers attempted to respond, but the drone maintained tracking. After the encounter, the remaining soldiers moved away in different directions. FPV drones continued monitoring the area. The position of the Russian soldiers offered little cover, leaving them fully exposed. The footage highlights how persistent aerial surveillance limits movement and reduces situational options in open terrain. They attempted to respond but were unable to affect the drone. Over the course of about an hour, 8 Russian soldiers were observed being neutralized as the drone maintained surveillance. One soldier, seeking cover among the bushes, was located by the drone. He tried to move quickly toward nearby ruins, but the drone continued to track him. In another instance, a soldier attempted to remain still, hoping to avoid detection, yet the persistent aerial observation left him exposed and unable to evade monitoring. The situation unfolds across open ground near Pokers under intense sunlight. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone observes a lone Russian soldier moving steadily across the exposed terrain. High above, another Ukrainian drone approaches quietly from behind. Focused on the path ahead, the soldier shows little awareness of the airspace around him. Gradually, the aircraft descends and skims close to the ground, slowing to reduce noise and remain unnoticed. Maintaining careful control, the drone closes the distance from the rear. Within moments, it approaches the soldier at very close range. The next situation unfolds as a Ukrainian drone flies low toward a large structure supported by tall concrete pillars. Moving carefully beneath the building, the aircraft scans the shaded ground below. This camera reveals a Russian tank stored under the structure for concealment. The drone circles once around the vehicle, allowing operators to confirm its position and assess the surroundings. After completing the inspection pass, the aircraft steadies and moves forward. It aligns directly with the tank's extended barrel, maintaining precise control while closing the distance. Moments later, the drone continues its direct approach toward the front of the vehicle, completing the operation under steady aerial observation. The next situation unfolds near a forest edge toward Kupiansk. A Ukrainian drone moves in at speed, closing on a Russian soldier resting beneath a tree and using the shade as temporary cover. Only when the aircraft is nearly overhead does the soldier look up and recognize the danger. By then, the distance has already closed, and the drone moves in to carry out its operation. Not far away, near an abandoned warehouse, a second drone accelerates toward another soldier standing beside a disabled vehicle. As the drone approaches, the soldier breaks into a run and throws the cup of water in his hand toward the aircraft in a reflexive moment of panic. The sequence highlights how brief pauses and routine movement can quickly become vulnerabilities under constant aerial surveillance. The footage compiles several successful aerial interceptions recorded near Kurakova. Ukrainian drone teams carefully monitor the airspace as Russian reconnaissance UAVs move across the front line. Once detected, Ukrainian interceptor drones maneuver upward and align with the approaching aircraft, guided by operators. The drones close the distance with controlled precision, as captured in several aerial camera moments. Ukrainian drones intercept the Russian UAVs and disrupt their observation flights, illustrating the growing contest for control of low-altitude battlefield airspace. Two Russian soldiers guide a wounded comrade into the basement of a destroyed house. An FPV drone from the UA Strike Drones company follows their movement from above. Moments later, the drone moves in and carries out an operation on the structure, causing part of the basement area to collapse and trapping those inside. Watch this moment carefully. Two Ukrainian soldiers prepare in front of a Russian shelter. The Ukrainian soldiers detonate anti-tank mines and throw them toward the shelter where Russian soldiers are located. The powerful blast heavily damages the shelter, leaving the structure completely destroyed. The intense pressure on Russian positions continues. Russian troops in the sea region faced numerous drone operations. Vehicles advancing toward their positions or transporting soldiers, ammunition, and food to the front lines were frequently observed by FPV drones. Pay close attention. Military vehicles left outside the trenches are among the easiest to detect for drone operators. This has been a recurring mistake since the beginning of the war, with vehicles often left in exposed locations without precautions against aerial observation. Without available transport, soldiers on the front line can become isolated from support and resupply. Russian soldiers who chose the forested areas of the Lyman region, believing they would be safer there, were still detected by FPV drones. Once again, the Ukrainian Signum Battalion identified Russian soldiers in the Lyman region and conducted drone operations. This time, the activity took place at night. Soldiers who struggled to avoid drones during the day now had to deal with them in darkness. In such moments, it becomes difficult to determine where the drone is approaching from. The drone activity continued for hours across the area. These FPV drone operations illustrate how drones have become a dominant factor on the modern front line. A Ukrainian FPV drone pilot has a Russian military vehicle in view. The Russian soldiers notice the drone and quickly exit the vehicle, moving away from the area. The FPV drone pilot then redirects focus to disable the vehicle itself. Multiple vehicles were similarly neutralized using drones. The FPV drone's next target is a Russian military UAZ vehicle. As the soldiers approach, they immediately leave the vehicle and retreat. Ukrainian operators use drones to engage several vehicles with precision. Each strike is carefully executed, leaving the enemy unable to recover their losses. This demonstrates the significant impact of drones on modern battlefield operations. A Ukrainian drone pilot targeted a Russian military vehicle on a logistics route. Although the soldiers quickly exited the vehicle, the primary objective remained to neutralize the transport asset. Moments later, the drone struck with precision, rendering the truck inoperable. The footage presents a compiled sequence from a Ukrainian drone operation near Pikovsk. From high above the contested terrain, reconnaissance drones scan fields, damaged roads, and scattered structures for movement. In several moments captured by aerial cameras, Russian infantry are seen moving alone across the battlefield, attempting to relocate between positions. Ukrainian operators maintain steady observation, carefully tracking each movement from a distance. Once a soldier appears along an exposed path or near abandoned buildings, a strike drone is guided toward the location. Flying low and quietly, the aircraft closes the distance with controlled precision. The scenes highlight how drone teams monitor wide areas and respond rapidly to isolated movement through persistent aerial surveillance and coordinated drone operations. Ukrainian forces maintain pressure across the sector near Pokrovsk.